Traders, Kyle Fisher here. It is 5:37 Eastern Time, the 6th of November. I want to go through a lesson tomorrow. For some reason, I'm having issues logging into my Interactive Brokers account. That said, so tomorrow I'm going to cover a new lesson that's going to break down the different time frames I use. So weekly, daily, 15-minute, and 3-minute, and why I use those specifically for swing trading. So unfortunately, we can't get to that tonight, but what I do want to do, because it's obviously going to be a pretty significant week in the markets, given the presidential election, I want to kind of cover a few things on the macro level and then specific stocks that I'm looking at to trade both long and short. So first and foremost, what we're looking at here, we've said this a few times in terms of what's going on with the overall market. I've been pretty much dead on with the pullback. Ever since the cross here in the 18,400 or 18,400, I said we would retrace and test 18,000. If you've been with us for the last 3, 4, 5 weeks, you've definitely seen those predictions. So now that has happened, what I'm really looking for is a few things. But unfortunately, what I think, at least on the unfortunate long side, is we broke through 18,000, and right now we broke through the 200-day moving average or exponential moving average. So there's definitely a lot of weakness across the board. Again, we've made money in certain shorts, which I'll get to in another lesson, and you've already known this, but HTGM and DRWY or I, we've made a lot of money in being short. But the unfortunate thing in terms of where the market is, we're definitely going to pull back, I think, a little more. I'm curious to see what happens Tuesday or Wednesday morning after the election to see what exactly happens. Right now, I personally think, the fact that we broke the 200-day moving average is very bearish. That said, we are oversold. So looking back historically, when we've been oversold on multiple levels, both looking at it from the RSI standpoint there, in terms of August and September of 2015, we rallied. Then we pulled back, we held support, same conditions, and we rallied. Brexit happened, then we rallied. So I'm a little hesitant to say we're going to rally again. That's why I'm still looking for longs, because we may. The only kind of caveat is, with the Fed increasing rates in December, now less than a month away, that's my gut, is that the market's going to pull back significantly. The pullback in these two periods were pretty significant. We went from 18,300 really all the way down below 16,000 twice. So, the pullback here is less than 3%, 18,500 to 18,000. It's not really that much. I think we still need an overall correction of at least 10%, and that would literally pull us back into the 16,000s. So for the time being, I really am not too confident in the market being long. Just to be frank, I'm a little scared of where, the market's going to go, but there are definitely a lot of things on the short side that I like. So what I'm going to attempt to do, if this ever refreshes, so give me 1 second. All right, sorry about that. So, overall, again, just to recap, we're definitely looking at overbought conditions or oversold conditions. So it could be a good buying opportunity for swing trades, but right now I'm still very cautious until, the election's over with Tuesday and we see how the markets trade Wednesday. We'll see futures definitely start to trade Tuesday night. So again, that's going to be really the key takeaway of how the market reacts, and do we see a bounce like we saw in prior areas of being so oversold, or do we just collapse? My gut says is we collapse at least another 10%. So with that, kind of taking it into a smaller time frame, I'm a little bit hesitant to say, the one long I do like is TGD. Whether or not we enter this position ahead of Tuesday, I'm not sure. It's a gold play, so it's something that I think could be a good potential long. So with TGD is, like I was saying, sorry, I got disconnected again. The one long that I do like, this has obviously a gold connotation to it. It's a mining company. Gold is still above 1,300. It's trading pretty well. It's been on a nice tear for the last couple weeks. And I do like this for a potential long, and what I'll do is I'll break down why. Sorry, I have to reset all this up because I got kicked off for some reason. So with this stock, it's been in a nice uptrend for the last basically 6 to 7 months. It's starting to form what I always call as a ascending triangle pattern. And what I really mean by that is, you see this area of resistance here, but you see that it's made, decent highs or higher lows, consistently over the last 3 weeks. And eventually I think this range is going to tighten like it is, and we're going to pop. So it's something that we are going to go long. It's just a matter of, do we go long tomorrow, Monday, or do we wait till Wednesday morning after the election? Obviously with the gold connotation here and the gold proxy in this equity, I think it's something where we could potentially see a nice move upward, depending upon how the markets trade. And if the markets crash, we could see a lot of influx back into commodities and into gold, leaving equities, in which case a company like this could do well. Fundamentally, this company has been doing pretty well. They had a solid earnings release. They're building up cash, operating cash flow on their balance sheet. I think they had $9 million built up in the last quarter. If you annualize that, it's roughly $35 million. And they are doing pretty well in terms of their operations. So again, this is something to the long side I'm going to look to do probably tomorrow, but stay tuned. On the short side, what you're looking at is new screens that I ran using our scans to find potential shorts. So right now there are a few that I do like here, and just looking at the setups, it looks like AVP already really made its move down, but it looks like CRK still has plenty of room to drop. And then another that has dropped significantly is NVFY, but it still has a ways to go in my opinion. So let's take a look at that real quick. Yeah, so this is one that I definitely like to short. It has plenty of room to drop to the 200-day moving average. looking at the Williams indicator, the trend is down here. We haven't broken 50 yet, but this rally, which it's a great run over the last 2 weeks, from 50 cents all the way to 5. That's due for a pullback. The 13 and 20 EMAs here are about to cross, so I think this is something I'm going to add to the watch list. I will take a screenshot of that. This is something that I really like this setup here to short. So look out for a potential short here in this position. Let's go back to the other. Let's take a look what's going on here. CRK. So the resources designation usually means it's tied to some form of energy. All right, so looking at this, and when you had an ascending triangle pattern breakout here, it's pulling back and holding the level of the breakout. And so what I mean by that, again, just eyeballing this, it broke out of this position here. Here's the ascending triangle play. Broke out, rallied $3. It's a great long opportunity. Now that it's pulling back, it's holding that level. If that breaks, I think we could definitely test the 200. So that would be, roughly 90 cents on the last trading price, and there's still plenty of room for it to drop for the Williams indicator. So, I do like this. I think it's going to be another that I'm going to add to the watch list. And again, so we have 2 short new positions to add. I still like GRVY as potentially going short because that has run up again up into the 13s. We already closed DRWI for 26% in under a week. And then TGD is a potential long. Again, from a macro standpoint, let's just wait to see what happens Tuesday before we really dive into, 5, 6, 7 open positions. We have 3 options right here that I really like. So, we might do these Monday and Tuesday. Most likely we'll go short probably in the 2 and long in the 1. So for the time being, let's just, stay patient and see how the election plays out. If you have any questions, obviously shoot me an email, and we will talk soon, guys.